So a lot of you been asking me about like tips and advice on like a good co-parenting relationship. I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I don't have the best of the best co-parenting relationship. But I think from my experience and from others that I've seen, what's good for a good co-parenting relationship would be respect for one. You both have to respect for each other, regardless of this of how you feel about each other, what your situation and circumstance is. At the end of the day, that is the mother of your child, that is the father of your child. Respect has to happen, regardless. Do you know what I mean? So, and you also have to remember your child is watching what you guys do between each other. So you have to respect each other, because if you start disrespecting each other in front of your child, that's what your child's going to learn. That behavior is going to continue to go, and that's what your child's going to start doing. Two, communication. Communication is important. Like I myself firsthand can say, when communication has been broken in my situation, for example, which is 9 out of 10 times, but when it's been broken most of the time, you don't go anywhere. Then becomes resentment. There then becomes bitterness. There then becomes an unclear proceeding forward of what's going to happen, what's about to happen, what you are agreeing on, especially when it comes to your child. So communication, good and effective communication is good. Like both people need, if you guys can't come to a compromise in your communication, it's about meeting each other halfway, because at the end of the day, people always need to remember your communication is based on what's best for your child. It's not about how you feel, how I feel. It's about what are we doing in our communication to ensure we're getting the best results that we need to get for our child, for whatever it is that you guys are discussing. And then I think lastly that I've learned is that I think understanding for, especially because you 9 out of 10 times co-parent situations because you're not together, right? So if you are somebody where you're not the one that has the sole responsibility of the child, there needs to be some understanding that the person that you are dealing with looks after your child. Whether you're the mother, whether you're the father, you are the one that's looking after that child 24/7. You are there to your child's needs 24/7. When your child needs something, it's you. When your child is sick, it's you. When your child needs anything at all, it's you. And as the other parent who hasn't got that responsibility, you should be understanding that when someone asks you to step in and do something, you should be able to do the bare minimum. Not you thinking, well, I can do whatever I want, because nothing is changing for you who doesn't have the child. For you who doesn't have the child, you can go out when you want to go out. You can do things when you want to do things. You can spend your money on whatever you want to spend your money. It's not the same for somebody who's looking after a child. I firsthand can sit there and tell you guys that for free, that as somebody who looks after the child solely, it's a lot for the person who's looking after the child. So if the other person isn't understanding and you're always coming and making yourself seem like you're a victim to, it's an inconvenience. You're like, there's a lot of you who will find a parent saying, the other parent who doesn't have any responsibilities, who lack understanding of, do you know what? I don't look after this child 24/7. I don't know what it's like. I don't have no stress on my head. I don't sit there and attend to a child 24/7. I don't run out the bath when my child is not crying, or I don't manage to finish my food or barely have any time to eat or time to myself because I'm catering to a child 24/7. And I think that's where a lot of co-parenting relationships break down, because the other parent who has no responsibility besides doing the bare minimum always wants to find an excuse why they don't want to be a parent. I know firsthand for sure. Or you have the other parent where they're always finding some way of trying to make it seem like you asking for help, you asking for them to step in as the other parent is too much pressure. But it's like, it has to be pressure on your end. You don't do anything besides the bare minimum. The child is not with you 24/7. So you can at least do the bare minimum when you're asked to do so. And you shouldn't have to be told. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's where a lot of co-parenting relationships break down, because the other parent who doesn't have the sole responsibility of the child doesn't see where the frustration of a parent who's looking after the child 24/7 is, where somebody's financing the child 24/7, when somebody's doing everything for the child, and then when they're asked to do the bare minimum, they're coming up with, it's pressure, oh, it's too much, it's an inconvenience. But you're not doing anything. Your life is not changing. So I think understanding for sure for the parent who doesn't have the child 24/7 is important. Because at the end of the day, the whole reason why your child is alive and well and your child is the way they are now is because that one sole parent has been putting everything into that child. They can't drop everything. They are there 24/7, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. They are there daytime, nighttime, whatever the time is for that child. You're not there like that. So you can't then act as a victim when you're asked to do the bare minimum. That's my views anyway on co-parenting. But like I say, I hope those who are struggling with co-parenting, that it changes for you guys and things will be better. And one of the parents starts to realize that, you know what, at the end of the day, like, I need to do what's best for my child. And if that means working with the mom and working with the dad to ensure that they are good and the baby is good, because they're the ones looking for the child responsibility, then yeah, that's what I need to do. But that's all I can really give advice on, guys, because realistically, I'm probably the wrong person. As I say, I've got my own up and down co-parenting relationships. So yeah.